Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the 1993 Generation 2. This is a European and Australasian exclusive. This figure is known as Blaze. So in this video we're going to have a detailed look at doing both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. Because he's a vintage figure, I'm going to point out things that you need to be aware of if you have to purchase him one for yourself. We can see the original use of the mould, and then funnily enough his Japanese version from Generation 1. So you can see we've got three different color schemes. We can then also have a look at his other Generation 2, I suppose, companion, and then funnily enough, just because it was confusing me as well, we can also see why he wasn't called Fizzle again, because this guy from Generation 2 is called Fizzle, and that is why he's called Blaze. So as you can see, quite a lot to get through in this video. So as I start to pop these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit the subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. So yeah, as I said, this is quite an elusive figure, to be fair, because he wasn't released worldwide. Pretty much everywhere it seems, apart from Japan and America. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I believe it to be. Because it's Generation 2, it is this crazy color scheme. Now the sparking mechanism doesn't work. That is something to look out for if you're after, if you really want it to be fair, you're going to be really hard pressed to find one that works. It works pretty much like an old school lighter, whereas if you pressed it down it would create a spark shooting through there. But in some cases, in fact, funnily enough, like him, you may see the fact that the rubber wheel has just completely deteriorated and just literally worn away. So that is something to be aware of. With it being again old, screws get corroded, so does there on the hinges. That is something to be aware of. And also this is very prone to breaking as well, so please be nice and careful when transforming him. The figure itself, though, couldn't be more basic if you wanted it to be. I mean, I don't normally do transformation processes on videos. I separate them, especially with old figures, because they might break. But with this one, it's literally just a case of that. There you go. And it's got some beautiful translucent plastic. I'm quite lucky it's still got some of the stickers on, to be fair. Without these, it would look a little bit worse. We've got the G2 Autobot logo there, which of course it's slightly changed. And again, it's just the craziest, wackiest color scheme you pretty much ever seen. So originally, obviously, in Generation 1, he was released as a Sparkabot with two other figures, and he had, if he was a Hasbro version, he had the red face, and as I say, he was known as Fizzle. He had a different name in Japan. They used exactly the same molds. So we've got, these are 1988, to be fair, just to remind you, these are 1988, and then in Japan he was known as Wild Spark, and all they did there was they just changed the deco of his face. So they were the original uses of the mold, and we need to then move these out of the way. And as I say, this is his G2. Again, fellow Sparkabot. They didn't do the tank, which was of course Guzzle. They just did these two, same as they only did two Decepticons as well. Now, as I did mention, he is called Blaze. The reason why it couldn't be called Sizzle, was it Sizzle? No, it was Fizzle, wasn't it? It's because this laser rod from Generation 2 has got his name, which is a bit strange because this guy came out a year after Blaze. So I don't know, maybe they already had his name lined up like so. But there you go, that's the reason why he's not called Fizzle. And I just want to very quickly show you or give you an idea of the size. Now I've zoomed in a little bit on here, so I might have to pan out a little bit. So this is some other Generation 1 figures. Definitely gonna have to pan out a little bit, not too much though, because I want to show you not my bad paintwork which you just saw there straight away. But so that's Generation 1. So let's give you an idea, I suppose, of some figures of today. So he's smaller than a core class figure. He is literally smaller than a core class figure. Let's zoom in again. This isn't working very well, is it? He's smaller than a core class figure, so he's obviously nowhere near as big as a deluxe. So that's giving you an idea, I suppose. I could bring a Voyager class behind, but you would literally just, oh no, he just about fits in. And if you don't collect any of these and you just collect third-party figures, so you want an idea of size, we've got a New Age David, which funnily enough is going to tower over him. This guy's going to go really well. It's Iron Factory's take on a hologram Mirage. This is a Magic Squares Trailbreaker whose legs are coming apart, but he probably will scale reasonably, and I think he might, with some Doctor Who figures, but of course he makes Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus would of course be towering over him, and I've actually got a Takara World's Smallest Starscream there as well. So that gives you hopefully a really good idea of how big he is, and hopefully a little bit of history into them. That's what I intend to do on this channel, find some of the rarer figures, give you a brief history, and I suppose expand all our knowledge by showing you the figures and doing exactly that, sharing my collection with yourselves. There he is, guys. This is the European and Australasian exclusive from Generation 2, Blaze. Let me know what you think of him in the comments, and take care.